Hi everyone, I'm back on the Storyteller Talk Show, and today I have a very special guest joining with me. She is a pretty lady, a well acclaimed author, and she has written across genres. Her latest book is The Kitty Party Murder, and yes, you all know her. Her name is Kiran Mandral. So I'm going live in a short while with Kiran over here, and we will be having her very soon on this talk show. Wait for Kiran to join us live. And in the meanwhile, I want to introduce that she has written various books. They are across genres like horror, they are sizzling romances, slice of life dramas, deeper and on the wittier side as well. So welcome, Kiran, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be on this. It's a pleasure to be here chatting with you.
Thank you so much for joining. Seriously, because I never thought that Kiran would be coming on a call with me, on a talk with me, and it's my pleasure to have you here and talk about your amazing book today. So first of all, congratulations for a beautiful book that you have written. I read it, and it's just right over here with me.
Lovely, I
Kitty
saw
Party
that.
Murder. So I'm all ready, just like a kitty party. I've got my cuppa with me, and I'm just ready to chat with you today, Kiran. So
Lovely.
how
I
have you
look
been
forward
doing?
to it. Doing, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Enjoying the pandemic lockdown.
Enjoying it
And
for sure, I guess, because your book is a success in this time.
I don't know about the success. It's very kind of you to say so, but as authors, we're always greedy for more reviews, more people to read it, more people to talk about it. And that's why thank you
Yes,
so much for inviting me on your show. It's really nice of you and kind of you to do so.
no problem at all. And next time also, I will be waiting for your book and calling you. However, I want to point out that I never read something like, I don't read witty or humorous books a lot. I'm only into thrillers, horror, and those serious kind of movies, books, series. This is the first time I read something so refreshing, and I was taken back to all those times when I used to read, Inkheart and The Chicken Soup for Soul. All of those things I used to read sometimes in my younger, I think, better days, and it brought another refreshing perspective to my mind after reading your book. So Kay is a very beautiful character that you have written. She's energetic. She is going through a lot of things in her life. Like she has just become a mother. She has started being at home, and there's so many things going on in her mind. She's an imaginative person, and I really like the way you have portrayed her because she's more towards the real life character, and still it is a character that is imaginary and amazing, an amazing detective as we will see in the book. So my first question to you of the day today, Kiran, without any delays, would be you have written so many genres like romance and heartwarming slice of life, even horror, the deeper, darker secrets. What prompted you to write something on the lighter side, like a witty thriller, and mixing up the genres that you have written?
Mm, you know, Mansi, I started out writing non-fiction in the sense I started out as a blogger. So my
Yeah.
blog Karmic Kids was a very funny take on parenting, and much of the voice that you see for K is the voice of Karmic Kids. So it
Yeah.
was stay at home, school gate mom, fed up with life, bored. What do you do with a naughty kid? So all that gets transposed into K and writing about K. K actually came about in my very first book, The Reluctant Detective. She was a character there. She was a
Okay.
protagonist there. And somehow she never really left me, I think. So she stayed with me. I went through many other books. I wrote about other stuff. I wrote romance, I wrote chick lit, I wrote horror, I wrote thriller, but Kay was always sitting at the back of my head and saying like, "Hello, there's more of me." That's how this book came about, and it's not a sequel. I'd like to add, it's a completely standalone story. It's a standalone story with the same protagonist and characters, but it's like it's vignettes of life. It's incidents that keep happening to us. As you know, it's not to be taken too seriously. And if anybody's listening to us thinking, "Oh, detective, crime, thriller," no, it's not that. It's just a very laughable, fun ride through Kay's life. That's all that it is.
Right. And Kay is the main character. I mean, she's very interesting. As you said, this is not a continuation of any kind, and she was always nudging you behind, in the background. This is very Kay-like, actually. Nudging at the background, what's going on, and she needs to come up and do something. So, most of us can relate with her. She's a real life character. She's struggling with diet, her body image, as well as she is struggling with her own laziness. That's something we all do, procrastinate things. So, she is looking for something which will give her thrill and more meaning to her life, is what I thought about Kay when I was reading about her. So, how did that character come to you? I mean, I understand it came through so many things that you were going through in your life, and it was sitting just behind with you. But how exactly did it come through? Is it you in some way, or is it a lot of observations that you have made?
I don't know if it is me or it is a composite of, me and other people. I think the K is more a composite of, it's me poking fun at me. It's me casting a look at the other moms around me who have like dropped out of the workforce. It's also very serious social commentary. I mean, beneath the laughs and beneath all the fun and joy and all the wisecracks, it's also talking to you about women who are highly qualified but have dropped out of the workforce because they have to take care of their kids, and what this
Yes.
entire leaking pipeline that happens and how it affects, I mean, all case misgivings about her weight, her image, her trying to find purpose is all this the sense of insecurity that comes from being out of the workforce, from being considered not a productive member of the economy, and to be, if you've read the book, so you know that her husband is constantly
Yes.
on her back to do something more constructive, but the
Yeah.
fact that she's raising the kid, and that's like, we don't give mothering and motherhood enough importance, I feel. It's
Yes.
a huge challenge, and we only consider mothers important if they're contributing to the economy in a monetarily way and earning money, and bringing home the bacon, so to speak. So stay-at-home moms really get a rough deal, and there's this entire segment of women who feels
Yes.
very left out, I would say. And I think I wanted to focus on that when I wrote the character of
I
Kay.
think,
Kay was
Kiran, you got a little bit stuck over there. I
okay.
would request you to repeat your last sentence.
Okay, I think that, yeah, I was looking at this entire category of stay-at-home moms who get a little,
Yes.
left out of this entire discussion about being important economically to their
Yeah.
families, and that comes the whole load of insecurities and everything. So I think I try to bring it out in a humorous way, and I think
Yeah.
also talk about all the things that plague us. I mean, look at the advertising, look at the hyper youthism that's going on. As you grow older, there's so much of pressure on you to look a certain way, to be a certain way, and you're considered like over the hill. So all these
Yeah.
insecurities, I think I talk about in the book. Yeah.
Yes, and it comes across very visually well, and it doesn't comes across as a dark or a secret, or sorry, not secret, but not as a dark topic or a heavy topic. It's something we can all relate with. It's something that's happening today, and Kay puts it in a very interesting perspective. She uses very good imagery. For example, I really love the use of the words spouse and the offspring. So coming so often in the novel, it adds to all that spunk. She's just calling her husband the spouse, the spouse. It's like it's really amusing in some way. And she's just ignoring him. Whatever he says, she just knows how to ignore that and how to go around it, probably. So I really liked her way of getting around to what she wants to do all the time. I think she's very determined that way as well. And talking about how she gets around the things and does the things that she wants, I want to draw out that parallel story that you have put in. So, usually, when someone is writing a thriller or a witty or any kind of a story that we usually read, is only one plot. Something has happened and things are around it. But here, there are two epicenters. And it's a very good parallel between the two. So, I want to ask you, was it your plan to do it this way or it just happened?
Uh, I don't really plan. I'm not a very good plotter either. But what I like to do is to tell stories of women, and women in different circumstances, women in different life situations. So I think there were two two kinds of women that came out in the story. There was the women of a certain privileged background who, had enough wealth but were still not very happy with their lives for whatever reason. And there was this woman who was stuck in difficult marriage in circumstances, where
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to give the plot away. You have to buy the book and read it for that.
Yes.
So this is the book. So I wanted to, juxtapose the two situations in some way and sort of show that behind the gates of seemingly very posh housing societies, residential societies, things
Yes.
are not always what we think they are. And what we think may be of, privileged lives and luxurious lives may not be that.
Yes.
So that's just the way I went about it, and then it grew by itself. It took on a life of its own.
Right. That's I think completely true. So this also brings me to one of these things. Like, of course, you have a lot of wit, a lot of humor. There are two murders going around in case, getting around her nose everywhere. She's trying to solve the cases in a very K-like manner. It's very interesting, but as it also raises a question about the society. There are two questions actually. One is about the body image, how women have to, face those consequences of motherhood or just of gaining weight and not being able to lose it. So people, like women, are not able to accept their bodies in a certain way because of the society and the image that media has portrayed today. And the second very big issue that you bring out is the domestic violence. In this case, I will not take it very further because I don't want to, kind of tell the plot to everyone. But what do you think about it? Do you think more stories and more novels that are centered around women, who are heroes, who are the protagonists, do you think spreading the word that way would kind of make people come out and talk about it? Because even in posh societies today, people don't talk about these things are very taboo still. The domestic violence, they will not tell what is happening inside their houses. They will not raise their voice against it. And they're still not able to accept their bodies as well. So, to cut the question in short, I believe that, writing more stories like you have done with the Kitty Party murder would bring about some more awareness. What do you feel about that?
All my stories have always been 1 second. Now there's too much halla gulla happening in my house.
Yeah, I
My
mean, it's
neighbor,
very difficult to keep them quiet.
and if I close my door, my network will go. So I'm terrified of that too. So guys,
Oh
you
my
just have
God,
to bear
okay.
with me. My husband is on a very animated call right now, so he's yelling in the background. So yeah,
It's
that's
it's
a very
very sad
important.
that he has to work on Saturday. Oh my
No,
God.
he's not
I can't
working. He's just
imagine that life.
no, no, no. He's not
Okay,
working. He's chatting with a friend and getting very animated about something. The
great.
spouse.
The spouse.
The spouse, the spice. So the thing is, it's a very relevant point that you bring up, Mansi, that these are issues in society and we don't talk about them and we consider them better buried and not discussed in public. It's considered a failure of a woman of sorts. If you are in an abusive relationship, what have you done to bring it on? If you are in a this thing, give me 1 second. I will close this door because there's so much noise.
Completely fine.
Sorry, Mang. Sorry.
No problem at all. It's really difficult. I also had to, guys, just ask everyone to go upstairs and not make a voice. And I kind of just, I kind of actually hushed my father away upstairs, and he was like not really thrilled about it.
Yeah, man. Work at home, like everything is, like everyone has realized that it's going to be there for a while, so we are going to stop not making noise. Anyway, so the thing is that, these, through all my books, every book I have tried to talk about issues that women face, whether it is the pressure to get
Yes.
married once you reach a certain age, whether it is, the fear of getting older and becoming irrelevant to people around you in the face of the window, of being a woman with mental illness and being considered a burden by her family, by her husband in missing, presumed dead. So all my stories are told from the
Yeah.
point of view of a protagonist. The grimmer stories are definitely, they have darker tones and darker themes, and they are much more serious. The face at the window, missing, presumed dead, or the forthcoming All Things in Heaven and Earth. They're very grim stories, they're darker stories. But with a lighter
Yeah.
story like the Kitty Party murder too, I want to bring forth issues that women face in their everyday that we tend to brush under the carpet, or we've normalized so much that we don't want to talk about it. So while this may be a fun, frothy, laugh a minute book, I do hope somewhere the message is going out that, this is not okay. Women should not need to be so insecure about their appearance. Women should not be constantly judging themselves and finding themselves wanting. And the kind of internalization of the image of ourselves that we're given, we're never good enough. We're never thin enough. We're never fair
Yeah.
enough. We're never pretty enough. We're never young enough. So that the whole currency of a woman is invested in her beauty, in her appearance. And I think that's so wrong.
Yeah.
From the time we are young girls, we're constantly being told by society, by friends, by relatives, by the media, by popular culture, to be on a constant mode to keep improving ourselves, make yourself fairer, make yourself thinner, take your wrinkles. I'm seeing teenagers talking about getting plastic surgery done. It hurts me. I mean,
Yes.
why you're in the best time of your life, you're gorgeous right now, but you still see yourself with a distorted lens because others around you are making you see yourself with a distorted lens. So
Right.
through the humor, through the wit, through the fun, I just hope that some message goes in that. I mean, she's overdoing it, obviously. Kay is like over the top. None of us are so obsessed by how we look. I hope we aren't. But
I think, Kiran, the signal has actually gone bad. The voice is really muffled right now. I'm so sorry, you'll have to repeat that part again. So we heard you tell the teenagers who are actually going and getting plastic surgeries nowadays. Hello? Guys, can you all hear Kiran well?
the best they can probably be.
Kiran, now you're a little, I think, coming clear. Your voice was really shaky before. Hello? Kiran, we cannot hear you. I think you need to you need to open your door again. Okay, let me just ask her to kind of, log back in. Just give me a moment, guys. I'll have to ask her and call her back. She has seemed to, kind of left the chat for now. Uh, okay. The Wi-Fi is so bad nowadays. I don't know what to do. Yeah, she is going to join back, Womanesha. Just give us a little time. And what Kiran was trying to come back with the question was about the body image of women that, we are facing a lot of problems nowadays. She was kind of answering that question and telling us even teenagers are finding it, like a small decision to make just to get plastic surgeries and go for Botox and things like that. And it's really regrettable because this is a time when you're the most gorgeous right now. You're the most natural, beautiful self in those years, and still, just because of the society pressures and that kind of, that image building issue that you have, you're going for that. So now Kiran is back, and Kiran, we heard you till the point you, told us about the teenagers going and getting the plastic surgery done. So after that, your voice was a little shaken. We couldn't hear you.
I apologize for that.
No problem at all.
Network as always.
Yeah.
So I was just saying that, I find it really sad that young girls who are in the prime of their lives see themselves with such a distorted lens because they're constantly being bombarded by messages that tell them they're not good enough. And
Yeah.
somehow, even though Kay is an over-the-top character, even though her obsession with herself and the way she looks is a little extreme, I hope none
Yeah.
of us are so extreme. I hope that extremism in how she perceives herself makes us take a rethink about how we look at ourselves. In
Yeah.
a way that, are we really so obsessed with the way we look? Is that right? Should we be doing that? Should we be just ignoring this and, finding comfort in the way we look and just accepting it? So
Yeah.
I hope some of those questions get raised, Mansi. That's all I try.
Right.
It's not giving a
That's
great message.
that's right. That's No, I did not feel she's going over the top or anything. It's more like spa, going to spa and keeping herself ready is more about making up for the lack of exercise, the laziness. She's not getting up. She just doesn't want to, and she just wants to do anything else she can do to cover it up. This is how I see, her behavior of going to spa salon and making sure that she's, tip top all the time. But yes, having said that, I just believe that everyone goes for natural ways of doing it. I like that she's going up and down the stairs and not going for a liposuction or anything else. So that's a positive point. Remember one of her friends who goes, after a childbirth to some kind of a slimming clinic and comes out like that, and it's very unfair to her because she is not choosing that path.
She prefers to
So,
not because
yeah.
she's terrified of having tubes put into her and fat sucked out. So
Good, no, we should be. We should
that's
definitely
all
be scared
valid.
of that. Right. But drawing that parallel murder case and also bringing up these two questions around was really powerful. I feel especially the one with the domestic violence, that case that comes up, really brings to question, what happens behind these doors and why don't people speak about it, even though people ask you, we have been hearing things and, we think that you are getting mistreated. Would you want us to help? And even then, people don't take that hand. So I think that is one of the perspectives that has to change in our society.
It's a long battle, Mansi. I work with a group of
Yeah.
very committed women, and I earlier, many years ago, I ran something called Violence Against Women Awareness, which ran on social media for around 4 years. And now I'm part of a group of, we're a very private group of women, and we're trying to raise awareness about domestic violence and violence in the home, as well as, offer counseling services and things like that. We call ourselves Women for Women. But it's a
Yeah.
long haul, Mansi. It's not easy for the
Yeah.
women. I can tell you, when you're in that
Yeah.
situation, for the women to actually take the first step and to ask for help is so difficult. That's a huge, huge
Yeah.
milestone for them. Because,
Yeah.
but then we can all
It's
do
it's
what we
well,
can do.
it's
So
again the
whatever
long
little.
haul because I think one of my friends raised this issue in one of her talks, and what she said was that we don't even know how to recognize we are being bullied or we are being abused. So one of my friends, Nidhi, had raised this point once, and I think she was very right. We don't even understand that it has happened. So first of all, for example, in an abusive relationship, you're there, you're having the time of your life, and then again, something will happen, and you will question yourself, was I wrong in doing this? And that continues, keeps on going, and you feel that you are to blame and not the other person. And that's how it all starts. And how to get out of that vicious circle, you first have to recognize it. I think that is one of the issues that women faces, but of course, you would know better because you have been running this kind of a group also.
No, it's a very valid point to recognize that you're in an abusive situation, and that all abuse is not just physical violence. It can be emotional
Yeah.
abuse, it can be financial abuse, it can be gaslighting. So to even recognize that you are in a space of vulnerability is a very important thing, and we all need to keep talking about how to recognize these signs, how to know whether you are in a relationship that needs
Yes.
help. So all I can say is, like, keep your eyes and ears open, and if you feel anyone around you or you yourself are in such a situation, try and reach out for help in whatever little
Right.
way. I mean, you don't need to go through this.
Yes. And I think that's what Kay is here to tell us. And, one of the very interesting things about Kay is going a little away from the heavier topic and towards the witty stuff again, is her conversation with her son. So I really enjoyed it. It made me laugh in so many places, and in almost every conversation that Kay has with her offspring is amazing for me. So how do you come across, such dialogues? Has it happened to you as a mother?
I've totally cannibalized my son's childhood. Totally, totally. Poor child. He's like immortalized in Karmic Kids, and he's been immortalized in Reluctant Detective and the Kitty Party Murder. He grows up, he's going to
Oh,
take a
wow.
knife to my throat and say, Kya kiya, mama tumne? So, everything, why are you shouting? You is dead. Wearing the
You is dead.
Spider-Man costume down to the park. All that is all him.
Oh, yeah.
And
They were
it was too,
really,
it was
really
too delightful
amazing.
not to use him.
Okay.
So much material in house, so I should use it, no? After all,
Yeah, you
9
should
months of struggle.
definitely.
Yeah, totally.
So
And
about your writing process, I was wondering, your writing process is like observing so many people around you, including your own kids. You don't leave anyone out, and kind of, do you build the characters based on all these real people that you made and things that you see? And it's really interesting to see how realistic your book becomes at a point where it's like I'm watching a movie, or probably I am in that scene myself.
so, all of us, I think, when we are writers, we are like magpies. We keep, finding one quirk from somewhere. A police inspector wearing Ray-Bans and him talking in Hindi and Marathi and English, a combination. So
Yes.
that stays in your mind. Something else, a house help you had who was very fond of collecting all the food from the previous day and the current day and eating it all together. So little quirks you sort of pick up and you file away in your mind, and then it all comes together. Somehow you use it. Everything is material for writers.
Yes.
So if you're living with a writer,
Amazing.
or if you're in contact with a writer, everything is material. So no one is going
Yeah.
to be spared.
Right. I
That's
could
it.
totally see that, but it also makes the story very interesting and makes me laugh a lot in so many places, especially when Kay is having those mental monologues with herself. It's really interesting to see that. So, how is your creative writing process, Kiran? I mean, of course, you have your observations and everything with you, but how do you put it on paper? This is, I think, one of the most difficult things for a writer. You have a lot of things in your mind, you have ideas and stories and observations, but how to structurally put it in the writing? That's, I think, something difficult.
I think if you read a lot, Mansi, it will automatically come to you. There are a lot of creative writing courses and programs and MFA programs which teach things much more better than I could ever explain. But very honestly, I think if you're a storyteller innately, as your Insta handle goes, storyteller Mansi. If you're a
Yes.
storyteller innately, you know how to tell a story. It comes very instinctively to you. You know which are the high points. You know which are the points at which you should take the reader to a cliff and leave the reader there. You know what are the points in which you need to put in a little humor to lighten the space. It just comes naturally to you as
Right.
a raconteur. And you've done so much reading, and I keep telling everyone it is not the writing, it's the reading that counts. If you have read enough, it will show in your writing. So that's the only
Right.
thing. You know how other authors before you have gone about it, and you can always draw from that. Maybe not consciously,
Mhm.
but subconsciously, you'll know how to write it. So there are two ways to write, as you know. It's architect who plans out a plot completely from scratch and has a
Yes.
skeleton in place and a chapter wise synopsis, and there's the gardener. I think I'm more of a gardener. I just throw the seeds
Gardener.
in and just see how everything grows. And then there are weeds, there's mess, there's pruning, there's cutting, there's replanting. All that chaos happens, which makes it take a longer time than it should, but that process is much more fun creatively. Being an architect is very
Right.
structured, and for a
Yeah.
book like a thriller, you need to be an architect. Am I losing
Yes,
you
I
again?
think if, yeah. Sorry? No, 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 you're not losing me again. I can completely hear you. I was thinking about it because I have been talking to a few authors, and everyone has their own way of doing it. Some people would mix those two approaches and, kind of structure the character, like just the plots out, probably the characters out, and then once you're sitting and writing, okay, it can go any way. It can go in any direction. Everyone has their own way. So I feel that your way is more of a gardener, as you already said, and it sprouts very beautifully for me because all the characters have been connected. So okay, so I'm getting some questions, Kiran, but I will give some more time to people to ask a few questions. I think there were a few people who were putting up questions. It would be really great, guys, if you can put up more questions while I ask the last question to Kiran. So Kiran, from my side, the last question is about your future plans. One, Are you going to write a series for the Kitty Party murder? Because I would like that. It ends in a cliffhanger kind of a situation. No, but I'm really curious to know what she does after going to Bali and how it all happens. And probably the spouse will also get involved and become a detective, probably. So all of those things are going in my mind right now. What will happen, how it will happen, and those kinds of things. So would really love if you could write a series for us. Second, if there's any other book that you're working on, and if you can give us a small bite.
I think Kay will always stay with me. So maybe even if she doesn't go to Bali, I think I'll be writing about Kay off and on. Uh, I think these are independent stories, and these stories sort of, stand on their own. So I try not to
Hmm.
have them sequentially.
Okay.
But yeah, I would love to write another K book. I think I've written half a K book and it's abandoned somewhere in the computer. I might just see if people like the Kitty Party murder, and if I'm tempted to, I might just write it out. I
Great.
uh, there's no telling. Never say never. And right now, what I am working on is I have a book coming out in early to 2021. It's called More Things in Heaven and Earth. That's a very different genre. It's more on the lines of Missing Presumed Dead and The Face at the Window. It's dark, grim noir with a little spookiness, some ghosts, and all that kind of
Oh,
thing.
that
So
would be great for me.
that's a oh, you must read The Face at the Window and Missing Presumed Dead then. They're very dark books, and
Yes.
The Face at the Window
I
was
have already ordered them and I will be getting them because I cannot wait to read, especially The Face in the Window. I want to go
yeah.
through that as soon as I can.
People have like not slept
Oh,
nights or not slept with their lights off after reading it.
but how did you write
So
it then? If people are so scared that I'm pretty sure that you as a writer would have been scared at some point or probably too thrilled to sleep.
no. As a writer, you are the creator, so they don't scare you so much. And the story writes itself, I think, after a point. No, the
Yeah.
story just writes itself. So you're not in charge or you're not controlling stuff. So you don't get scared because you're just channeling it out for you. For me, Face at the
Yeah.
Window was that book. It just came out of me. So
Okay.
I felt actually like somebody
All
else was
right.
writing it for me. I was telling somebody else's
Wow.
story. So that's what's coming
Okay.
in 2021. More Things in Heaven and Earth. That's coming out from Amaryllis. I'm working on a companion non-fiction
Yes.
from Rupa. That's about inspiring
Okay.
women. That should be out in 2021, hopefully. Everything's gone a little delayed because of the pandemic. And then there is a
Hmm.
surreal speculative fiction that I'm working on. It's full-size novel. I've written short stories and
Okay.
speculative fiction before, but
Yes.
never a full-size novel. So let's see how that comes about, how it works. So fingers
I am pretty
crossed.
sure it will be great. Yeah, fingers crossed here. And looking forward to all these works, Kiran. There's one question
Uh,
from everyone
I
who's
think
there. I
I'm
think
losing you
Sagari has
again.
asked.
Am I audible? Am I
Oh,
visible?
yes, yes. Yes, you're audible and visible, both. All good right now. Can I ask the question? The last question to you? So, Sagari has asked, where did you get the inspiration to write a thriller plot that is also humorous? I think you have kind of answered this in the very
I'm
beginning,
sorry I
but
lost you there,
probably if you
Mansi. I
can.
can't hear. Could you just repeat what you said?
Okay, yes, sure. Sagari has asked a question. Where did you get the inspiration? Okay, can you hear me now? Hello? Oh, I think I'm losing. Like, I can hear Kiran very well. Guys, can you hear her? Hello?
I can hear you now.
Kiran, can you hear me? Okay. Yes, now you can hear me, right? It's all
Yeah,
good
I
now
can hear
from
you
your end
now.
because from my end it's all good. Okay. So Sagri has asked a question.
Okay,
What
fine. Yeah, I
gave
can
you
hear you.
the ins Okay, great. So Sagri has asked a question. Where did you get the inspiration to write a thriller plot that is also humorous? I think you answered in the
So
very beginning,
hectic.
but probably for other people.
Oh Lord, this thing is troubling up
Okay.
again. Sorry, Mansi, I can't
Yeah,
hear
now
you.
I can
I'm
hear
just going to
you.
switch back to mobile network. Just hold on for a moment.
Okay. Yeah, sure, sure. We'll do that. Wow, I will be asking this question for the fourth time, I guess, but I really hope she can answer it for you, Sagiri. I'm so excited for this answer as well because I also want to know what inspires a writer to write a plot that is unique as well as different from, the same kind of genre, or probably the writing style that an author has followed. It would be really great to know. So just give me a moment. And any other questions, guys? You can ask any other questions that you have. And the moment Kiran joins back, I will answer it for you. Hi, Dan Hussein. Okay. Yes, her video is a little bit delayed and she'll be joining back. Debashree is asking about soft gothic horror. So Debashree, let me answer on her behalf right now because she just, I think, answered this question for us that she is about to write something on the lines of supernatural ghosts and a deeper, darker story that is horror and thriller, which is going to come out very soon in, I think, the following year. And she's also working on some other projects which involve a non-fiction. So I'm really waiting for that and looking forward to it. Any other question, guys, you can ask me and let me see if Kiran can join us back. Okay, I've sent her a request. Who was your favorite character, Mansi, in the Kitty Party murder, Sagri? Without any doubt, it was Kay. I completely loved her. I adored her because of the way she is. She's very active in her brain, if not in the body. But yeah, she brings out so many things and different characteristics of a woman so beautifully well. And she's not just, kind of concerned about her body fat or how she looks standing beside her spouse, but she is also concerned about people around her. And it's not just her, putting her nose in some other person's business, but it's about, being concerned for them and trying to find out how things can go well. And if she can help people, along with her friend, the friend who is living in the same building, I kind of forgot her name. They are both together and they're, kind of going around and looking into things, what is happening. I found it really interesting that Kay is concerned with people around her and she's polite and she's gentle and at the same time, she is, a detective. She wants to do things that matter. And even if Runa, the detective who asks her to join and, kind of solve these cases, even if she is very aggressive and kind of, what to say, very hard, I mean, on people. She's quite kind of really rude and blatant, but still, Kay is able to face up to her. She can stand her ground and answer Runa, and she can do what she wants to do to show Runa that she also can be a great, detective. So it was really interesting. And Mansi, what other genre beckons to you naturally, other than horror, that is? Okay. Um, that's thrillers, but particularly in thrillers, I think it would be action and gangsters kind of thriller that would really interest me, like Godfather. And I think about writing stories of gangsters and kind of action fights and all of those things. I really want to read those novels as such because, of course, that's one of my favorite genres in movies and series. And after reading Godfather, I have to read it. I have to read everything related to mafia, yakuza, related to gangsters in Mumbai and stuff. So I would love to do that. Okay, Kiran is still not able to join. I'm going to try and, invite her once again, and hopefully she can. Let me try again. Hmm. So sorry, guys. Um, okay, she's not even coming in the options. Why? Okay, here it goes. I have sent another request to Kiran, and I hope that this time she can, join. Devashri, want to get in a collab? Yes, definitely. Why not? Please send me the details. I am looking forward to write something interesting in collab. Okay, you have joined. Thank God.
Here I am.
Okay, so I think after a
Apologies,
lot
my
of,
network is like the worst.
I have seen that in other, I think, previous live chats also, and I was ready for it. It happens, I
So
guess.
anyway, I
In some areas, it is still, kind of what to say. I'm depending on your network, it's still a little bit of a problem especially for some specific networks. So probably you might have to look into that or fiber, whatever.
I have no
Okay.
idea why this keeps happening because I have Jio, I have
Yeah.
Hathway, I have
Ah,
Airtel, I have
mhm.
4G, and nothing works at one point in
Okay.
time. Suddenly it will all
I will
just
recommend
off.
you something separately. What to do with Airtel? You have to ask them to get the fiber optics to you because they're still digging and getting it to the houses. But I think that is going to help. That's the only way left, Kiran. No other way out.
No other way left.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I have been working at home and it has been a mess. A mess with Geo. Okay.
Okay.
So
I think it
once
is learning
again,
to
coming
live
to the
with this
questions.
working from home. Yeah.
Okay. So Sagari had
Absolutely.
asked, what was your inspiration to write a thriller that was humorous?
Um, well, that's a good question, actually. It's
Yes.
basically because I think um I've read a lot of comic thrillers when I was very young. There's a series called Inspector Daglish. It's a UK-based, I forget the author, but it was most fun. You would go around solving these murders, but he was like a laugh riot. So I think we didn't have anything like that, and I think somewhere at the back of my mind that stuck, and I wanted to write something on those lines. So that's what was the inspiration.
Got it. There's a second question coming up because in the time you were gone, I think people were thinking about it. I'm not very sure about the question, but I'll just put it up. Debashree is asking that this is something non-literary, but did someone tell Kiran that she has an uncanny resemblance with Nanda? Not very sure about it. Actor from yesterday. Oh my God, okay. So Kiran, you look like an actress. Actress, right? Actress, yeah.
Ha! No, I look like I've been told I look like Tiska Chopra. So Tiska's a dear friend,
Oh.
and actually we got connected on Twitter because people said like you look like Tiska Chopra, and then she's sort of we connected. So I don't know about Nanda, but Tiska definitely I do know, but no connection to Nanda at all.
Okay, but that's really interesting because I think you do look like an actress and you can try out for that as well.
अरे यार अभी तो दोनों पैर कबर में है अभी क्या
क्या
एक्ट्रेस
कुछ नहीं कवर ववर ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. So whenever I say something like that to mom and she gives me this answer, I just remind her about a book called Ikigai which she read and she says that yeah, Japanese people live till 100 years and more than that. So I'm also going to do that. कौन सा कबर क्या पैर छोड़ो सब कुछ बातें भूल जाओ. So that's how it goes with
Absolutely.
her. But Kiran, it was very nice to talk to you. I think I have exhausted the list of questions now, and it was lovely to talk to you. Anything else that you want to tell to the readers, and then I think we can conclude.
other readers, please pick up that book, read it, leave reviews on Amazon if you like it. If you don't like it, please tell me in private about it. So, but it will make you laugh. It will make you think about many things. It's a book that is not supposed to be bracketed into any particular category. So don't go with preconceived notions. To have a fun read to detox. I think in these dark and dire times we need to laugh, and that's what this book tries to do. So do it.
Yes. So amazingly said, Kiran. Especially in pandemic nowadays
Hi
when people
Shiva.
are so stressed out and they, yeah, it's a light read. It's interesting and it makes you laugh. So definitely pick it up and read, guys. Kiran, am I losing you again?
Shiva,
I'm
who's
not
a
sure.
dear friend and wonderful actor,
Yes, we are losing Kiran again, but
issues. I said
I
Shiva, who's a dear
think
friend and a
yeah,
wonderful actress, who's
no problem. Okay, Shiva, hi. Okay, any which ways. Kiran, can you hear me? Yep. Her connection is definitely, problematic today. And apologies for that, guys. But Kiran, I think I can conclude and I can actually give you my thanks for coming and giving us so much time today. Okay, Kiran is not able to come back, I guess. But I think, guys, I'm going to kind of stop the chat right now with her. Yeah, and got to do that. Let me see if she can probably join us back only for the conclusion. In the meantime, if you do have any questions, do ask. Hi everyone. Everyone's still joining. Thank you so much, guys, for joining again. And lovely to see you all. We're just waiting for her to join back for the conclusion, pretty much. And this video is going to be available on the IGTV as well as on the YouTube by
What
the
is
same channel.
wrong with
That is the
network here
Storyteller Mansi.
today?
You can always go there,
I think his Insta lives
look
I
at the
should
full
just
video,
not do.
and look at all her answers and suggestions. I wanted to ask her what are the writers and the authors that she looks up to. If she's able to join, I will ask her. But it looks like she's not able to join back right now. Okay, I'm going to wait for her for a little while. Let me see if she's able to join back. Devashri, thanks a lot for joining and thanks a lot for your questions. They were beautiful questions. Kiran is back again. Okay, no problem, Kiran. If you can, please join. It would be great. Okay, she's unable to join. No problem, guys. Kiran is asking, she's saying sorry for everyone to kind of, not have that network. It's completely fine, Kiran, not a problem. Let's see if we can. This is such a bugger. But any which way, something that she was not able to do. This is the book, The Kitty Party Murder. It's a beautiful book and it's not a very good, like, it's not a very big read as well. So do go for that. Kiran, I was showing everyone the book because my network, I think, is okay. So I'm showing everyone the book.
It's a lovely cover. It's a tempting cover.
Yes, it's a tempting cover. It's a very delicious cover for some reason because it reminds me of a lunch. Okay, so thanks, Kiran, once again for joining. I wanted to ask you about your favorite authors and writers, but only if your network is stable. Otherwise, I will put up that question later in my blog as well.
So it's P.G. Woodhouse, if you
Okay.
can hear me, and
Yes.
it's Haruki Murakami,
Okay.
it's Stephen King. So these are my
Oh,
favorite authors and writers, and I think you can see the influences in my writing itself.
first from Stephen King, I can definitely, I think. The horror part.
And yeah, and the P.G. Woodhouse in this book, I think you'll see P.G. in this book, The Kitty Party
Okay.
Murder.
Definitely. I have not read him, but I will definitely do so. I'm not aware of the writer shamefully, but I'll do that. Thank you so much for your suggestions, Kiran, today.
Thank you.
Okay. So thank you for your
Thank you
time,
for
Kiran,
inviting me.
and thank you everyone for listening to us and bearing through with the network issue. Everyone who is still here, someone is praising you a lot. That though I'm not much of a reader, but the things you talked about sounds interesting. And what else? Okay, since mystery and thriller and horror is my favorite genre. Okay, so Kiran, I think you have another reader today. So thank you for joining us, guys, and thank you, Kiran, once again.
Yes.
Good evening, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mansi. Yeah. Hi, Milan,
Bye.
and bye, Milan. We're winding it up. So,
No problem. I'll share this personally with Milan. Milan is also a great writer. I mean, I love her books.
so many people are joining in.
Now,
You
now.
all are
So probably, I
all
think,
of them.
guys, thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining us. However, we are concluding, but please keep an eye out for the IGTV link. I'll be putting this up.
Okay,
I think in
great.
next 5-10 minutes it will be up. So do go and check it out. Thank you so much. Bye, Kiran. Okay, she's stuck again. Oh my God. No problem at all. Yeah, I think we are just saying byes now, so no problem. Thank you for joining us, guys. Once again, Kiran is not able to, I think, keep that network stable. She needs to really kill Jio and Airtel, and I think who all and whatnot. But it was a great session with her, and it was a great talk about the Kitty Party murder. I will be putting this up on YouTube as well as on IGTV. So do have a look and check out if you missed any part. So see you.